So I was on Archive of Our Own a while ago, and I see a lot of people who put, I don't own, whatever the fandom is, like Homestuck or stuff, before their story, and like, a lot of people do it. It was really confusing at first, because, I came on the site to read fan fiction. It's a fan fiction site. I'm fully aware that you don't own the fandom or the characters. That's why it's called fan fiction. Emphasis on the fans, because fans are cool. Also, they cool you down a lot. Joke has never been made before. I'm so original. Like and subscribe for more original jokes. I'm sorry. So I began to look around a lot, and yeah, it's like everywhere. All the fandoms, all of the fan fictions. Like, whole websites, too, like on DeviantArt. There's a lot of stuff on DeviantArt and Wattpad. Kind of like a weird copyright disease. It's hidden between random tags, and it's written in bold in the description and in the bottom of some stories, but it's definitely there. And in a time where a lot of writers, actors, and creators know about fanfiction, and some even read and encourage it, it made me wonder why people kept putting it everywhere, other than for the obvious copyright reason. So I guess I kind of did a whole bunch of research for nothing. But besides that, I got really curious, because, there had to be something more, right? And it turns out, back in the day, before fanfiction was mainstream and it was even encouraged by the creators, like I mentioned before, it was just your please don't sue me, I'm poor, and I just want to have a good time plea. Which is kind of weird, because if you think about it, fanfiction helps the show, book, webcomic, or TV show by giving it exposure and thus drawing in fans. And the funny and sad thing is, people did used to get sued over it. Such was the case with Anne Rice and her fans. You see, Anne Rice was an American author of gothic fiction, Christian literature, and erotica, and supposedly before Stephanie Meyer wrote everybody's favorite book series, Anne here wrote the Vampire Chronicles, which was pretty popular in their time. So popular that people took to the internet to write fanfiction of the wonderful characters and interesting plot. Unfortunately, this didn't last too long, because in April 7th, 2000, the semi-popular Anne Rice set the following message on her webpage. I do not allow fanfiction. The characters are copyrighted, and it upsets me terribly to think about fanfiction with my characters. I advise my readers to write your own original stories with your own characters. This is absolutely essential that you respect my wishes. The post was then followed up by Anne, who emailed threats regarding not only the writing of fanfiction, but any writing that any fanfic author attempted to engage in, regardless of who owned the copyright. And weeks of harassing personal letters sent to fanfic authors' email addresses and guest books ensued. She went so far as to dig up personal information on fanfic writers and use that as part of the harassment. Alright, you might say, she obviously went off the deep end there, but I see little to nothing wrong with what she did. It's her property. She can do what she wants with it. And to that I have to say, true. She does have that right, but the problem is that she was not asking or even telling fanfiction writers to back off. She was using the excuse of fanfiction to cyberstalk and harass the fanfiction authors, even after said authors removed the now illegal fanfic from their sites. Maybe they didn't ask nicely, you might be thinking. And honestly, I don't know if that would have made a difference, seeing that the authors were, in all accounts, being nice to her. When the fanfic started, and the publisher knew about it, and allowed it to happen under the understanding of a don't ask, don't tell policy, where the writers could do their writing thing as long as they didn't shove their stories in Anne's face. In addition to this policy, the early fanfic authors spent months researching the legitimacies surrounding fanfiction, and around this time, they asked the other fandoms how they wrote their fanfictions without being sued. This knowledge was then used to create the disclaimer system, which is what we were talking about earlier, to make sure it was understood that at no time did the fanfic authors intend to infringe on Anne's or any other corporation's legal rights. Now, you might be thinking, disclaimers? Like the ones under YouTube, AVMs, and such? And, well, my wonderful watcher, yes, you'd be correct. Look at you, paying attention to the video. But yes, for years, a disclaimer was used in front of all Anne Rice's fanfictions and all of the others, which mirrored the disclaimer successfully used by other fandoms, namely ones which pointed out that the fanfic in question was a non-profit amateur effort not intended to infringe on the rights of Anne Rice or any other copyright holder. Basically, a drawn out and much more worded version of I do not own insert fandom here. While this disclaimer has worked well in other fandoms, Anne Rice considers it unacceptable. According to Christine Cudley, Anne Rice's lawyer, even with the non-profit and or amateur basis, such use of Anne's characters without Miss Rice's permission constitute copyright infringement. Yes, the Vampire Chronicles was a dangerous fandom to be back in the day. And the more I look into this, a lot of fandoms had this, you see. The Buffy creators were probably the most chill about fandom, but it's not like it was now. You did not talk about the fandom with anyone except other fandom people, and bringing up at cons was a massive no-no. The X-Files fandom wasn't much better than the Vampire Chronicles. Fox lawyers sued, threatened, and generally terrified the owners of fan websites on a regular basis. God help you if you wrote or created an original art set in their expansive universe, or worse, dare to write about their characters. Even people who weren't creating fan works, just hosting GeoCities pages about how much people like the show, would be sent as cease and desist order. Lucasfilm also sent cease and desist letters to Star Wars fan sites. Publishing Slash Anne McCaffrey had a huge long set of rules about how exactly you were allowed to play in her sandbox. Stories just go on and on and on. Clearly, this was the best time to be a fan. Luckily, things did change though, and I think Supernatural, and Mishan Collins specifically, was when the wall between fandom and creators really started to break down. But credit where credit is due. Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter fans really helped the fanfiction movement, if you will. It's a relatively new thing, and I, for one, hope it stays that way. What did you guys think of my first kinda cool video that didn't have to do with Minecraft? Hopefully it was good. Leave a comment on what you guys think. Was Anne Rice right on calling out fanfiction writers? Did I get anything wrong? Would you mind if people made fanfics out of your work? Leave the comment in a doobly-doo below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more stuff. And yeah, also, you guys should probably go check out this really cool channel, the Tafusi channel. Has like literally nothing posted, but me and my friend will get on that. So yeah, see y'all in the next video.